He's still muted.
Thank you. Thought I had changed that. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters.
Good morning.
Tom, thank you for your comments and introduction. Doesn't sound like with the disconnect that some of the overall definition of it was able to make it to you. So thank you for bringing in. There's a bit of emotion in my giving this talk today. And to that end, it's not directly related to selling with love, which I know many of you have heard from me. And in a way, you may be happy that there's something different that I'm talking about. Today, I'm talking about when it all breaks down. There have been numerous studies asking folks that are at the end of their life what they wish they had done different, what they wish they had embraced more. And AARP, the American Association, if you heard that, I'm near a train, I apologize. The American Association of Retired Persons, in the paleo care of people that were dying, that were very near at the end of their life, they asked them many times, you look back on your life, what are things you wish you'd done different? And there's several answers, a lot of them related to working less, engaging more with friends, loving more, forgiving more. But the absolute distinct, always coming to the top, number one answer that came up again and again was the expression of, I wish I had the courage to live a life more true to myself and not what others expected of me. Society, our world influences us, the experiences we have influence us. And over time, we all develop ultimately our way of embracing this, our way of experiencing this, our way of protecting ourselves. A lot of the experiences we have are good, they're uplifting, they're encouraging, they're healthy, and some are not. Some are painful, some are scary, some can really put you in a bad place. And through all that, we develop over time our outward person, and we also have our inward person. And these two entities for some are quite in line. They're quite coherent. They're quite in harmony. And that's great. For many, they're not. And this disconnectedness, it is my proposition, my statement, that it can lead a lot to stress, to anxiety, to depression, to insecurity, to those aspects that can make it harder to live in life because there's a disconnectedness. There's not a alignment with who we are inside and the person that we're portraying. That is an element that it seems to me is becoming ever more present in society, but in different ways. It's evolved over time. I can think back to the 70s and the 80s where it was a whole lot more geared towards appearances in some respects, and that could be a debatable item. Some may think that's the case, some not. I think there's been a whole lot more self-awareness, people being able to share some more of their feelings. But we've also at the same time had other elements that have been keeping up with society, mobile phones, social media, the aspect that can bring to us as well. But I'm going to offer you three areas of hope and of encouragement to help with aligning more and bringing together more the outside person and the inside person for you. When it comes to this and the disconnectedness that can occur and the problems that can bring about, I found it interesting to reference to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, because this to me is the extreme. And I would again contend that when there's a great disconnectedness and the great depression that can come with that and anxiety, that can lead to significant problems. Suicide today is the 10th leading cause of death, and it's interestingly growing most for young women in their teens. And that's a real issue for society today. Do we allow a person's inside to come out? Do we allow grace? Do we allow forgiveness? Do we allow people to express their real pains and doubts? I have to tell you, in being at Toastmasters, something that I've experienced for me is I've been disconnected with this. And at times it's come out, because when things start to break down, cracks happen in your life. You may not execute as well on something as you wanted to. And last week, I was the general evaluator, and I did a horrible job. And I was disconnected. I wasn't bringing full attention to it. I disrespected you as a team. I apologize, but more so I take responsibility for it. And that's just one evaluation of my own self, because I put on my exterior, but I also am very flawed on the inside as well. The three things I want to leave you with here: endeavor to hear yourself, journal, pray, meditate, take time to listen to your inner voice. This will be a little bit crazy, but the second point is go somewhere and scream your head off at all the things you're angry about, people that you're mad with. Be somewhere private and just let it go. The other thing is forgive yourself. We are all who we are made to be, and no one can be a better you than you. So embrace that. And every day that you wake up, recognize that it's the beginning of the new elements of you moving on in life. So there's a healthiness to that. Embrace it. When things start to break down, when things start to crack, lean into it, because it's telling you something. It's telling you something that may not be right in you, or is not in coherence with your outside and your inside. Is it scary to do this? Yes, but I would contend it's scarier not to. Embrace the real you. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
All right. Thanks, Paul. Take a couple of seconds to write Paul a note. Send that to him privately. If you send